and this is what it looks like. Hi guys, welcome back and welcome to today's video. For today's video, I'll be talking about the Juvia's Place Saharan palette, or the Saharan palette by Juvia's Place. The Saharan palette has 12 shades. This is what it looks like. I've had this palette for several months already, I think. I did win it in a giveaway from my friend Serenity Beauty at Serenity Beauty with 3 Ys on Instagram and Serenity Beauty on YouTube. So check out her channel. I'll link it down below. But ever since I got this palette, it's like I haven't stopped playing with it yet. I feel like I still haven't maximized the looks that I could do with this one palette. It's just so amazing. So obviously I really like this palette because just look at the shades. It has such a diverse range of shades. It has mostly warm shades, but it also has some cool shades like these this shade here and this shade here, and this is a neutral brown. It's not very warm, so I really like it too. And then this shade here, bluish pink shimmer shade. So I think it has a good balance of warm, neutral, and cool shades, and that's one reason that it's so great to have. It is definitely a complete palette because you have at least one transition shade, but I also use these two as transition shades a lot of times. So these are 3 matte shades and then actually 4 matte shades with 1 black. So you have 1 color to at least accentuate your outer corner. So there are 4 matte shades and then you have 8 shimmer shades. All of the 8 shimmer shades are more of the metallic foiled finish, and they're really outstanding in my opinion. They just pop so much on the lids. How they look on the palette is just as intense on the lid, or even more, especially when you wet it. So I especially like to dampen my brush or my finger when I apply it and just make the color really smooth and foiled. So I really like the texture that I get from these shades. One thing though that I noticed is that the black is a little patchy. It's not super black, and even when you look at it from the pan, it's not as deep and dark as I would like it to be. It's not as deep and dark and intense as the Kat Von D black shade, for example, but it does work as a black shade. So when I use this palette alone, like as a complete palette, I tend to always use this to accentuate the outer corner. But if I were to do like a smoky eye and use this black shade as the darkest, it wouldn't work. You would definitely need like a really intense black shade for that, or a black eyeliner, or a black cream shadow instead of this. So it's more of just a shade to accentuate your outer corner, your outer V. So that's how I use it. It's not like a black eyeshadow. And then this matte shade is really good. It's very easily blendable. It's neutral. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. And it's just a great shade to match with all of the shades here. I also noticed that this shade, although it looks red on the pan, it's a bit more pinky on the lid. I'm going to show you the looks that I have done so far with this palette alone. So I have done a variety of looks using this palette, and I feel like none of the looks really look like each other. So that's something that I'm really glad to have in a palette, because some palettes, they have just one theme, and I feel like all of the looks that you get from that look the same. Like nobody can tell that it's a different eye look unless they look really close or they're very good with makeup. But for the lay person looking at you, look at your makeup, they will... There's construction going on outside, by the way, so if you hear hammering, etc., yeah, that's because of that. Like with themed palettes, like with all warm shades, I feel that most of the looks always look the same or look extremely similar to one another, that someone looking at your eye makeup will not be able to tell any 2 makeup looks apart. They will always have this one look to it. But on one hand, a lot of people like that. They like just sticking to one theme of eye look and then just playing with the shimmer shades. So again, that's really good for some people, but I'm just not one of those people. I like my looks to be varied, especially because I always post them on Instagram, I always post them on my YouTube channel, on Facebook. So having really similar looks isn't really something that I would look for in a palette. But with this palette, it's really so versatile that even my girlfriend was really impressed with how many looks that I was able to get out of it. I was really able to play with it. And aside from that, it's really a great accent palette because of all the shimmer shades. They are also unique, I think, especially Wodabe, if I'm saying that right. Wodabe or Wodabe. It's a very greenish gold. It's like an antique gold. I think it's really unique. It leans more green than gold. It leans more green than gold, especially on camera, but in certain lights it's gold, and then in certain lights again it's green, and I really love that. And this shade also, Kia, I think this is one of my favorite shades ever. It's like when I look at it from this angle, it's blue, but then when I look at it straight on, it's like an emerald. So again, a really great color, really unique. It has a shift to it that I really love. It also has a rose gold Lulu. Lulu is more of a rose gold, and I love rose gold. I think everyone loves rose gold shades. Of course, used to accentuate your inner corner or as an all-over lid color, and then just pair it with a transition shade. And then you have classic bronze colors, Senegal and Zoya. Zoya is more rose bronze, while Senegal is more of like a coppery bronzy color. So you also have these classic accent shades as well. So I think it's really, again, I can't say it enough, I think it's really beautiful. And Bororo is like a berry red, berry purpley reddish shade. It also has a very nice shift to it. At some angles it's more berry, and then when you look at it straight on, it's more like cherry red. I don't know. I think there are endless ways to play with this palette. I like to use like one metallic shade as an all over lid shade like this, like my eye look right now, and then use the matte shades to just ground the look a bit. Or sometimes I like to use a different palette altogether, a neutral palette, and then just pop it on the center or pop it on the inner corner, and it will just tie the look in together very well. Even if I got this palette for free by winning a giveaway, if I had to buy this palette again, I would definitely buy it because it has been a really great addition to my kit of eye palettes that I'd never go to a job without it, and I always reach for it, especially when I want to try something different. I always try to think of new ways to use this palette, and it has been outstanding in my opinion. Although Juvia's Place has had some controversies in the past, especially in terms of customer service and in terms of catering to their original black market, I do feel like it's not really my place to comment on that as someone who is not black. But if you're a person of color and you are concerned about those, then it's your decision if you would like to patronize Juvia's Place or if you would just stay away from them. So it's up to you. But there are controversies surrounding the brand, so I suggest that if you're one of those people who want your money to speak for you, you want your money to only support brands that you are comfortable supporting, then I suggest do a Google search on Juvia's Place and its controversies, and there are plenty of materials on the internet and on YouTube about that. I think one of the best videos that has really introduced me to the controversy surrounding the brand is from Tiff. The channel is TiffJeff069. I'm subscribed to her. I will link her video down below just in case you want to watch it before deciding to purchase from Juvia's Place. And again, I did not purchase this. At first, I was hesitant in supporting them because of those issues, but I do want to still review the palette even if I did not purchase it, and even if some people may not want to support the brand, then I still feel like a review is still in order. So it's up to you. It's your decision if you would like to support it or not. So as for swatches, I'm gonna be showing you the swatches, but there's no primer on my hand, by the way. So Sokoto looks like this. It was my fault. I didn't really press that much, and then it still has a lot of shimmer. See, it's really a bit patchy. And yeah, that's it. So those are the swatches of the Saharan by Juvia's Place. That's my review of the palette. The product itself, I recommend, highly recommend the product itself, but it's up to you if you would like to still support the brand despite controversies surrounding it. Alright, so that's it for my video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Today's welcome back, and welcome.